Tessa teacher, and I am a native English teacher here at KNS. I mainly teach grades 3, 4, 5, and 6 in the following levels: Szkola, Honors, Advanced, and Challenge. I teach both curriculums, writing and IB 1 and 2, although for both advanced and expert classes, I only teach writing. So this presentation is just going to go over some of my class expectations and my goals for the students. So my writing goals, I hope that the students will be able to understand basic essay structure. Right, so introduction, 2 bodies, 1 conclusion. I want them to be able to generate supporting details for their body paragraphs by asking themselves WH questions, so who, what, when, where, why, and how. And then I also want them to understand basic components of an introduction and conclusion. That is an area where a lot of my students struggle, so we're going to try and spend a lot of time working on those 2 things. In terms of class expectations, students will be writing an essay every 2 weeks, although they have writing class every week. If they are online, they will need to email it to tmverbal@naver.com before the class period begins. If they have an in-person writing class with me, then they can bring their essay to class and turn it in at the beginning of the period. I accept both handwritten and typed essays. If the student does not submit the essay on time without emailing telling me that they are unable to do so, then I will send a text message reminder home and extend the deadline by 1 week. In terms of their essay requirements, I require every essay to have 4 paragraphs, 1 introduction, 2 bodies, and 1 conclusion. I expect each paragraph to have at least 5 sentences. Students are free to write more than that. And then I also expect that the ideas in the essays are original. I want students to try and explore their own imagination, explore their own creativity. This term, students will have more opportunities to write in the different writing styles. So I hope they use this time to expand their worldview and their thinking. In terms of IB 1 and 2, we will be using historical references and context clues to deepen novel comprehension. This includes both a historical background, media component, and a novel component. On day 1, that is our historical background day. Each week, we will do a different step. Our first week, which was last week, we did background, so that would be World War II exploration. This week, we're doing multimedia studies, so we are watching a lot of YouTube videos and doing questions throughout the video, and at the end, reflection questions to try and deepen our understanding of both the US and Japan relations and Denmark and Germany relations. Next week, or 2 weeks from now, we will be doing critical thinking. So this is when we combine our novel with our historical background and do some reflection on the chapters that we've read so far. And then the last 2 weeks is when we move into formal research and we end with a capstone presentation. For novel, I've bolded all the items that are homework. So these things the students must complete at home. So comprehension questions, these are in their handbook. And the summary notes, that is where students will write 5 sentences reflecting on the chapters that they were assigned to read. Again, they can utilize those WH questions. So who in our story, who is the character, where does our story take place, what is happening in those chapters, and they can think, why is this important? What can happen next? In class, we will do class notes together, and then I will give them a review test. The review test is always 10 questions. At home, they must do the review test corrections. On the next 2 slides, I'm going to explain how to complete these things when you are online. For online review tests, it is still a 10-question test, but the student will need to provide their own paper. It can be lined or unlined A4 paper. They will need to write the number of the question itself, and the answer. They will have 10 minutes for the test. I know that it may take additional time for the students to write the question, and I'm willing to provide that additional time. At the end of 10 minutes, we will check the test together, and then they must send their score out of 100. The final task is for them to staple or tape this test into their handbook to be checked when the student returns to KNS. To complete their online review test corrections, they have to find the correct answer for the questions that they got wrong. They have to write down the question, the correct answer, and the book page number, and this can be on a different piece of lined or unlined paper, and then they show it. And on the day that they return to KNS, they can receive my signature. My overall goal, so students should be able to strengthen their speaking and writing skill while delving deeper into the text. What's great about IB is that students are able to understand both sides of the conflict and then deepen their novel understanding, which allows them to interact more with the teacher and the subject during the class. Right, through the use of the projector and online classes, our stories are able to come to life. They're better at understanding our character, and we can fully explore the modern experiences of war and conflict. I look forward to connecting more with your student. Thank you very much.